The physical world presents itself as a collection of heavy, stable objects. We experience a stone wall as something permanent and immovable. But zoom in far enough, and that stability vanishes. At the quantum scale, solid borders dissolve into a vibrating swarm of disconnected particles, a landscape defined by raw probability and constant jitter. This creates a foundational paradox. A stable universe shouldn't emerge from a foundation of pure noise. You cannot build a solid house out of bricks that randomly change shape or disappear. We feel the weight of this paradox in our own psychology. The same unpredictability that defines the physical floor beneath us creates the internal tension we call anxiety. We spend our lives attempting to resolve this tension, seeking ways to turn a chaotic environment into something we can predict, direct, and survive. Uncertainty measures potential, the number of open future states a system can take. Under physical constraints, these infinite options collapse into probable outcomes. These repeat, forming stable loops. This is how matter is constructed. Atoms are chaos trapped in repeating patterns. While individual particles remain erratic, the boundary holding them together stays firm. Local unpredictability provides the raw energy that creates global, macro-level predictability. The wood, stone, and steel around you represent chaotic probability held in a state of continuous statistical stabilization. This scaling process continues from physics directly into biology. Living organisms function as persistence engines, maintaining internal order against an unstable external world. A single cell survives by defending its boundary against turbulent chemical fluctuations. It anticipates changes and adjusts its internal state to avoid breaking apart. The human brain serves as the ultimate version of this boundary maintenance tool. It is a prediction engine, processing an avalanche of noisy sensory data to guess meaning before the body takes damage. We use imagination as an offline simulator for this process. It allows us to test variables and close off dangerous options in our minds, reducing uncertainty before we commit to physical action. Our complex social behaviors and long-term plans are structurally identical to that cellular survival loop, operating at a much higher level of abstraction. Persistence relies on converting environmental noise into actionable, predictable patterns. Human irrationality and mental disorders represent specific failure modes of this management system. They emerge when the organism struggles to stabilize its internal model. Anxiety occurs when the prediction engine begins overscanning the environment. It generates infinite what-if scenarios, but fails to lock on to a single outcome, leaving the body in unresolved anticipation. Addiction functions as an artificial certainty loop. It allows the brain to escape overwhelming ambiguity by forcing a guaranteed, immediate cycle of predictability. We build shared conceptual maps like religion, politics, and economics to manage this on a larger scale. These systems compress unbearable existential uncertainty into clear rules and expectations. Our most destructive habits represent desperate biological attempts to manufacture stability when the mind feels overwhelmed by the unknown. Certainty describes the temporary architecture we build out of open possibilities. It is a tool for navigation rather than a permanent destination. Attempting to reach a state of total predictability is actually dangerous. A biological system with zero variables becomes completely rigid, losing the flexibility it needs to adapt when the environment inevitably shifts. The human condition exists right at the volatile intersection of chaotic possibility and rigid structure. We require both to function. In high-stakes environments, survival depends on bounding variables rather than eliminating them. We need enough order to act and enough openness to change course when our predictions fail. True resilience is remaining ordered and functional without needing total control. It is building a mind robust enough to step calmly into the dark.